A boat propelled so as to travel with a speed of 0.5 meters per second in still water moves directly across a river that is 60 meters wide. The river flows with a speed of 0.30 meters per second. At what angle relative to the straight across direction must the boat be pointed? And how long does it take the boat to cross the river? So here is the question. River has 60 meters wide. The velocity of boat is 0.5 meters per second if there is no current in the river, and if this boat directs right across, if there is no current, then he will be able to go right across, whereas the current is flowing in this direction or the other direction, it doesn't matter, with 0.3 meters per second. Therefore, in which direction does the question ask us this boat should be directed? Therefore, if you point yourself in that direction with 0.5, and the current is going to take you in this direction with 0.3 meters per second square, 0.3 meters per second. So the question is asking you what should be the direction of, I think from the shore it says, direction of the velocity vector over here. Now it's important to get this triangle. If you get this triangle, then the angle, to find this angle will be easy to find. So here is your velocity vector over here, which is 0.5. This is a right angle, which is 0.3, so that you go right across. So this is important. This is right angle. So I can find this angle using the cosine or sine. Which one should I use? I know the sine of this angle, which is sine of this angle will be 0.3 divided by 0.5. Inverse sine of 0.3 divided by 0.5 will be equal to alpha, and this angle will be, can be found. Let me just find it. Inverse of sine 3 divided by 5. That's going to be 37 degrees. So this alpha over here is this one. Let me read the question again. Which angle does it ask us? At what angle relative to the straight across direction? So therefore the question is asking us this angle, which I found as 37 degrees. The other way of solving this question is to make a table. You can say there are x and y components of the velocity of the current and velocity of the boat, and the total of them should give you, the total of the velocity should give you a velocity vector which does not have any x component. So this I want to get 0 because I want to go right across. Okay? The current has a velocity vector in only x direction, which is 0.3. Therefore, I have to find the boat's x component as minus 0.3 in order to get a 0 value. The velocity of current in y direction is 0. If you say this is the velocity value over here, and that is alpha angle, let's say, the x component will be 0.5 multiplied by sine of this angle, which is sine of alpha. You can say this is 0.5 cosine of alpha. In here, now using the equation, 0.3 minus 0.5 sine of alpha should give you 0, and now you can get the sine alpha as 0.3 over 0.5, which I have already got it here, the same answer there, and you will get the angle as 37. And inserting this angle in here, then you can find the y component of the total, which is here 0 plus 0.5 times cosine of 37 will give you the y component of the total velocity vector, which is 0.5 times cosine of 37, that is 0.40. So now I can find it using trigonometry in here as well after I find the angle. So this boat right now has a total velocity of 0.4 meters per second directing across the river. And the next question was asking us to find the time that it takes to cross the river. What am I going to use? The simple equation of motion, which is x can be found by average velocity over time. Average velocity, in this case the velocity is constant, which is 0.4 divided by time, will be equal to x. So now I am considering the same displacement in the direction of the velocity. So I am taking only this velocity vector, which is in the same direction as the displacement vector, which is 60 meters here. So therefore time will be equal to 0.4 divided by 60, and that is gonna give you 0.0066, which is what is that? XVT. So I made a mistake here? Yeah, I made a mistake here. I wrote the equation wrong. By the way, our cameraman is helping us there quietly. Thank you for that. So as you can see, I can make mistakes. Please don't make mistakes as I do. And you do mistakes in the exam as well. So I'm going to erase this one. What was velocity? Velocity average was delta x over delta t, wasn't it? Okay. Average velocity is 0.4 is equal to delta x is 60 divided by time, and therefore time will be equal to 60 divided by 0.4. Okay, so that is going to give you the answer, 60 divided by 0.4, that is 150 seconds. Okay, thank you.